Chosen ones, there's something deeply important that God wants to reveal to you today. I know you're here for a reason, and it is no accident that you have found this message. You are watching this right now because God has led you here, and He wants to speak directly to your spirit. What you are about to hear is a prophetic warning, one that is crucial to your spiritual journey and the path ahead. God has chosen you for a purpose. There is greatness ahead of you, and you are destined to step into divine blessings like you've never imagined. But there is one thing you need to understand, and this message is for you. Do not speak of what is coming before it's time. What is coming is powerful, but there is a right time, a perfect moment, when God will reveal it to you and to the world. The excitement you feel about the future is valid. It's the excitement of knowing that something incredible is about to unfold. But in your eagerness, it is important to remember that there are moments in life when silence is golden. The universe is shifting in your favor, but there's a spiritual law to follow. Not everything must be shared immediately. Some things are meant to be kept hidden until God decides it's the right moment to reveal them. This is a message of preparation and patience. You may feel like you have the answers, that you know what's coming and you want to tell the world. But understand, there is a timing to everything, and it is not your timing. It's God's. It's not the right time for you to speak about what is ahead, and this is something you must take to heart. What happens if you ignore this warning? What if you speak before God gives you permission? You might think, what's the harm in sharing the excitement and the blessings that are coming? But in reality, if you speak out of turn, you could bring confusion into your life, and even into the lives of those around you. God works in ways that go beyond human understanding, and His plans are revealed in His time. When you speak prematurely about what is to come, it can disrupt the flow of divine timing. God is orchestrating everything in your life right now, even when you can't see it. If you speak too soon, you risk the timing being thrown off. You risk opening doors that are not meant to be opened yet, or forcing situations that aren't ready to be birthed into the world. Sometimes, when we rush ahead of God, we cause unnecessary chaos. The blessings and breakthroughs that are meant for you may not arrive in the way you expect, because your own actions have interfered with God's plan. Think about it this way. When you plant a seed, you don't immediately expect to see the fruit right away. You must wait patiently, nurture it, and trust that, in time, it will grow into something magnificent. Similarly, when God plants a promise in your heart, there is a time for it to grow in the spiritual soil before it is ready to be shared. If you speak of it before its time, you disrupt the growth process. And it's not just about you. Speaking too soon can affect others. There are people in your life who may not understand the magnitude of what God is preparing for you. If you share something too early, they may mock it, doubt it, or even try to block it. This is why silence is so important. Protect the divine seed inside of you until it is ready to blossom. If you speak out of turn, you risk misunderstanding and misinterpretation. Others may not be prepared to hear what you have to say, and you may face criticism, judgment, or even rejection. The message you have is powerful, but it needs to be delivered at the right moment. And that moment is not for you to decide. It's for God to decide. Now let's dive deeper into the reason why God's prophetic warning is so important. There's a divine order to how things unfold in your life, and if you respect that order, you will see blessings beyond measure. God's timing is never wrong. It may seem hard to understand at times, especially when you feel like the world is calling for you to speak out and share your gifts. But the key to unlocking divine favor is in waiting for the right moment. In the world we live in, we're often encouraged to share everything, our thoughts, our plans, our future. But this message is calling for something different. It's calling for restraint, for wisdom, and for divine trust. The truth is, There are some things that are so sacred that they need to remain between you and God until the time is right. God reveals certain things to you for a reason, and it is His responsibility to decide when and how they should be shared with others. You are chosen for a purpose, and that purpose is far greater than anything you might immediately understand. Your life's purpose is unfolding right before your eyes, and part of that purpose involves knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. Silence is not weakness. Silence is power. It's the power of knowing that God is at work, even when you can't see the full picture. It's important to realize that not every moment in life is for speaking. Some moments are meant for quiet reflection, for prayer, for preparing your heart. There's a peace that comes when you trust in God's perfect timing. It's the peace of knowing that everything will be revealed to you in due time. God's plans for you are already in motion, even if they aren't visible yet. This is a season of preparation for you. It's a time to grow in faith, trust, and wisdom. God is preparing you for something incredible, but that preparation requires patience. God's voice will guide you when it's time to speak. But until that moment arrives, your role is to listen, to wait, and to trust. When you hold your words back, you show faith in God's ability to lead you. You are saying, I trust that He knows the right time, and I don't need to rush the process. This is how God works. He works behind the scenes, creating the perfect conditions for your blessings to arrive at the right moment. Remember that the season you are in now is not the season of revelation. It is the season of preparation. Things God has whispered to you are treasures, but they need time to mature before they can be fully shared with the world. You are being trained to walk in a level of divine favor that requires wisdom and discernment. And that means understanding the importance of waiting on God's timing. So let this be a reminder to you. Stay silent for now. Trust that God is leading you, even when you can't see the full plan. Know that there is a greater purpose unfolding. In your life and in time, the world will see the manifestation of that purpose. But for now, remain quiet, remain faithful, and remain obedient to God's divine plan. When the time is right, God will speak through you in a way that will change your life and the lives of others forever. Patience is not just about waiting, it's about trusting. Trusting in God's perfect timing is a powerful act of faith. When you place your future, your dreams, and your desires in His hands, you are giving up control and trusting that His plan is better than anything you could have imagined. The world tells you to hurry, to chase after your dreams, and to grab success with both hands. But God's way is different. His timing is always perfect, and it's crucial to understand that sometimes waiting is part of His plan for you. You may feel the urge to share your dreams, your breakthroughs, and what you believe is coming into your life. But in those moments, remember, God is asking you to wait. When you wait, you're allowing His divine will to unfold in the way that's most beneficial for you. Sometimes we think that silence means inactivity, but it's the complete opposite. Silence is a sign of faith. You are showing that you trust God to move in His way and at His pace, not yours. Imagine for a moment that you are standing at the edge of a cliff, looking down at the future that awaits you. You can see the incredible blessings that God has prepared for you, but you can't yet step into them. Why? Because the path isn't clear, the timing isn't right, or maybe there's still work that God needs to do in you before He can reveal the fullness of the promise. This is where patience comes in. You have to trust that the path will be revealed at the right moment, even if it isn't clear to you now. The moment you take that first step will be because God has prepared everything perfectly for you to move forward. Patience is not a passive state, it's an active decision. It's an act of spiritual maturity to trust that everything you need, everything you've prayed for, and everything God has promised is already on its way. but it will arrive at the right time. This is where most people struggle. We want things to happen in our time, not God's. But when we try to force things, we step out of alignment with God's divine plan. When we try to make things happen on our own, we risk walking away from the blessings that God has carefully prepared for us. By waiting and trusting, you give God the space to work in your life. This space allows Him to clear obstacles, open doors, and position you perfectly for the blessings He has for you. Trusting in God's timing means you understand that there's nothing you need to rush. When the time is right, you'll know. Until then, your job is to remain faithful, to keep praying, and to allow God to move in your life in His own time. The excitement of what's to come can often be overwhelming. You feel the fire of God's promises burning within you, and you want to shout from the rooftops about what He's shown you. But it's important to remember that not everything should be shared before its time. God's plans are vast, and He knows exactly when the world is ready to receive what you have to share. It is a matter of divine wisdom to wait for His perfect timing. When you rush ahead of God, you risk losing the fullness of the blessing He has for you. God's plans unfold in stages, and if you try to skip ahead, you may miss out on key parts of your journey. Imagine a beautiful painting being created. Every stroke, every color, every shade has a specific purpose. If you try to rush the artist's hand, the masterpiece is compromised. Similarly, God is painting your life in the most beautiful way, and rushing the process would disrupt His masterpiece. Not everything God shows you is meant to be shared immediately. There are things in your life, visions, dreams, and prophecies that need to be kept close to your heart for a season. God is revealing these things to you for a reason, and that reason is often for your preparation, not for the world to see just yet. You need time to grow, to mature, and to align yourself fully with God's plan before you can step out and share what He has given you. If you share too soon, you risk losing the essence of what God has placed in your heart. You also risk the possibility of others not understanding or even discouraging you from following through on God's plan. Sharing something prematurely can also open you up to spiritual attacks from those who do not see the same vision. Not everyone is ready to hear what God is showing you, and that's okay. God will open doors when the time is right. Waiting is an act of humility. It's the understanding that God's ways are higher than your ways, and that His plan will unfold in the way that will bring the greatest glory to His name. It's about trusting that He is the author of your story, and when the time is right, He will give you the permission to speak. Until then, hold your peace, for the plan is unfolding perfectly, even when it seems hidden. Speaking too soon can cause more harm than good. It can lead to confusion, misinterpretation, and even fear. When God reveals something to you, it's not meant for public consumption just yet. Sometimes the message is for you alone, a personal preparation that you need to allow to grow before you can share it with others. If you jump the gun and reveal too much, too soon, it can backfire in ways you don't anticipate. For example, you may tell someone about a blessing that's coming into your life, and they might respond with doubt or disbelief. This response can shake your confidence and cause you to question God's promises. There are people who may not understand the magnitude of what God is doing in your life, and their negative words can cause doubt in your heart. It's important to protect the promises God has spoken to you and keep them safe until the right moment. Another danger of speaking too soon is that it can create unnecessary pressure. You may feel the weight of others' expectations or judgments before the plan has even fully unfolded. The divine purpose God has for you is not about pleasing people or meeting their timelines. It's about fulfilling His divine will for your life. When you speak too soon, you may feel the need to live up to other people's expectations rather than focusing on God's plan for you. Speaking too soon can also disrupt the spiritual timing God has designed for your life. Every promise has a specific time to manifest. Just as a seed needs time to grow and mature into a tree, God's promises need time to come to full fruition. If you rush it, you could end up forcing a process that's meant to unfold naturally, and this could delay the manifestation of your blessings. Patience and silence during these seasons allow God to work in the background. The more you remain silent, the more you allow God to do His work without interference. The day will come when He will tell you it's time to speak, and when that moment arrives, you will know. Until then, your silence is your protection. It guards your heart, preserves your faith, and keeps the promises God has made to you safe. God's IT. Sovereignty is something we often hear about, but do we truly understand what it means? Sovereignty means that God is in complete control of everything, and He is the one who holds your future. It is His will that directs the course of your life, and His plan is greater than anything you could imagine. It is from this place of trust and surrender that we must understand that He will reveal what's next when He knows the time is right. Sometimes the waiting feels unbearable. We feel as though we are ready for the next step, and we want to rush ahead. But in doing so, we may miss the deeper lessons that come from waiting on God's perfect timing. His timing is always intentional, and even when you cannot see it, He is working behind the scenes. Trusting in God's sovereignty means acknowledging that He knows exactly what you need at exactly the right moment. This trust is not just about believing that God will do what He has promised, but also knowing that He will do it in the right way. God does not make mistakes, and He will not make a mistake in your life. When He makes His plans known to you, it will be in the fullness of time, and it will be clear to you. His guidance will be unmistakable, and His favor will pour out in ways that you cannot deny. The more you trust in His sovereignty, the less you need to control. You will begin to rest in the knowledge that everything is being taken care of, even when you cannot see it yet. It is in this peace, this divine assurance, that you will experience true freedom, knowing that God is working for your good, even in the moments you feel still or stagnant, brings an overwhelming sense of comfort. Remember, He is the creator of the heavens and the earth. If He can control the universe with such precision, He is more than capable of handling every detail of your life. Trust that He will make His plan known to you when the time is right, and when it is revealed, it will be better than anything you could have dreamed. There is something sacred about prophecy. When God speaks a word over your life, it's not just a casual whisper. It's a divine declaration of what is to come. Prophecy carries weight, responsibility, and often a burden. Not everyone is ready to hear or understand the prophecies. God speaks over your life, and that is why it's so crucial to wait until the right moment. God reveals His plan to us in stages. He doesn't show us everything all at once because we may not be ready to handle it. Prophecy is often given to us in pieces, and as we grow in our faith and trust, those pieces come together to form the bigger picture. What God reveals to you now may only be a small part of the greater plan He has for your life. Just because you can see part of the vision doesn't mean the world is ready to see it as well. The weight of prophecy can be overwhelming. You might feel the pressure to act or share the revelation, but God is asking you to hold it in your heart for a while. The world around you might not understand the vision God has given you. They may even try to discourage you from believing in the impossible things He has promised. But God has entrusted you with this prophecy because He knows you can handle it. This is a time for you to grow in wisdom and spiritual maturity. The more you grow in your relationship with God, the more you will understand the full weight of what He has promised. When the time comes for you to share it, you will do so with grace, confidence, and an understanding of its full significance. Not everyone will understand your prophetic journey, and that's okay. God is revealing things to you that others may not be able to see. They may not be at the same level of spiritual maturity to understand what God is doing in your life. But this is your journey, your divine purpose, and you must protect it by holding on to the prophecies God has given you. It's easy to focus on the blessings that are yet to come and the promises that haven't yet been fully realized. But it's equally important to take a moment and reflect on all that God has already done in your life. Every step that has led you to this point has been part of God's divine preparation. Every hardship, every trial, every blessing, it has all been part of His plan to bring you to where you are now. Gratitude is a key part of the divine journey. As you wait for what's ahead, take time to reflect on all that God has done for you. He has already been preparing you for what is to come, and that preparation is not to be taken lightly. Every experience, every season you've walked through has made you stronger, wiser, and more capable of handling the incredible blessings He is about to pour into your life. In addition to preparation, God's protection has been with you. You've faced challenges, but God has shielded you from harm. You may not have seen it, but He was protecting your heart, your mind, and your spirit. He has been with you every step of the way, and His protection is a testament to His love for you. His hand has been guiding you even when you didn't fully understand the path ahead. As you prepare to step into this next season, take a moment to thank God for His faithfulness. Thank Him for the protection He has given you and the preparation He has brought into your life. Without these things, you would not be ready for the abundance that is to come. Be grateful for the journey, for it has shaped you into the person you are today and the person you are becoming. Now, as you reflect on everything that has been shared, remember that silence is a sign of strength. It's a sign that you trust God to work on your behalf, even when you can't see the full picture. The time will come when you will step into the blessings that have been promised to you, but until then, let your silence speak louder than your words. Your silence is a reflection of your trust, your obedience, and your faith in God's plan. Trust that God is preparing everything for you. Trust that He will reveal His plan at the right moment. As the chosen ones, we are not called to rush ahead or speak prematurely. We are called to wait on the Lord, to trust in His sovereignty, and to walk in the assurance that everything is already in motion. Stay faithful, stay patient, and stay quiet. The blessing will come in God's perfect timing, and when it does, you will be more than ready to receive it.